This shit got a smell to it and everything. Motherfucker holding the microphone like a fucking rapper. This shit crazy. Hopefully this shit work. Trying some new shit. Got a whole fucking setup and everything. Let me see. Hit start on that motherfucker. Got my notes. Hopefully the fucking sound come out good or I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off. I think we're live. Bam, 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 bam. And then there was bass. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. This is your host, Young Dolomite, for the Too Much Game podcast. Live from the Boom Boom Room once again. I was supposed to be in studio yesterday, but unforeseen circumstances, nigga had to go get that unrighteous mammon. You know, bullshit at the job. Shit happens. Could have been a lot better, but it also could have been a lot worse. I'm just glad I could be here to still provide a show for you motherfuckers. Like, you know, shit happens, but I'm not gonna let shit stop it. Like, you know, adverse circumstances ain't never gonna stop nothing in my book. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of shit that go on and motherfuckers just miss the whole show. I already wrote a show for this motherfucker, so I'm damn sure not just finna lose this shit. Like, fuck that. And I know it's motherfuckers waiting on it, so I ain't wanna let nobody down. Fuck that. And you know, just to start this shit out, shout out to Queen Sharonda for the fresh tea that I just picked up of the Q Chat podcast. Y'all go check her out. Check out the homies Walter and Angel LeRae of the Miss Talks podcast, and you know, all my other good peoples in the podcasting community. The You Heard Me podcast with the homie What the Fuck Is Clutch, the homie from Cleveland. You know, of course, Langston White from Langston's World podcast. And the Townhouse Media family, seriously, not another podcast. No Rules podcast. Fucking Cat vs. Dog. Talk Flirty podcast. You know, we all out here grinding, doing all our shit. We coming back slowly. This quarantine had a lot of motherfuckers fucked up. You know, so now motherfuckers is, you know, getting back in rhythm, getting back moving. You know, they opening up shit. They opening up little pieces, states and shit like that. So, you know, it's cool. The quarantine fucked a lot of shit up for a lot of people. So, you know, motherfuckers is just trying to, what would you call it? Adjust to this shit. Time to cut the fucking beat off. It ain't smooth like when being ready do the shit with all the fading and all the nice sounds, because I'm literally in this bitch by myself just learning how to use this equipment that the nigga let me hold. Being Ready passed me this equipment like a cool couple weeks ago. I've been scared to fuck with it because I don't know how to use this shit. I'm literally holding the microphone in my hand like a rapper. Because, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do when you get what you get. So, it is what it is. I'm hoping the sound quality is a lot better than the last couple of weeks that I did from the Boom Boom Room, because that shit was real shady. Like, it had like a little hum in the background that I wasn't a big fan of. So I'm just trying to do it like this. Like I'm working as fast as I can to get this shit to sound as good as I could get it on short notice and shit. What's going on, Cut and Pooh? You know, but anyway, I'm entitling this episode of Bricc at a Time. You know, basically the gist of it is, you know, most people want to make big changes in life. And a lot of times you got to make big changes in small ways. Like, you know, when you want to lose weight, it's not always about going 100% cold turkey and changing your whole diet overnight. Like, a lot of times you just got to do shit in moderation, do shit slowly. Like, Nipsey Hussle said, instead of trying to build a brick wall, lay a brick every day, and eventually you'll look up and you'll have a brick wall. Like, you know, when you doing something like me, I kind of cut out meat. I definitely cut out pork. And the way that I did it was basically I would just not eat meat on weekends. Like Monday through Friday, I eat meat, but Saturday and Sunday, I wouldn't eat meat. So then I would be like, all right, for sure. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm not going to eat meat. And then it just progressed from there. Like when it comes to you making changes in your life, a lot of times it's easier to change shit slowly than it is to change shit quickly. Like I said in the last episode, subtlety is the devil's greatest weapon. Like, you know, when you want to fuck something up, the easiest way to fuck something up is to fuck it up slow. Just like how you didn't gain weight overnight, you don't lose weight overnight. You know, like you just change your portions slowly. You know, one meal at a time, you know, just like with anything, like when you fucking an alcoholic and they send you through the 12-step program, you know, everything is one day at a time, you know, one brick at a time. When you build in the wall, like everything has to be done, you know, one at a time. So, you know, that's basically what I'm going to talk about in this episode. But just starting out in the news with it, the Ludacris versus Nelly battle. That shit was a shame. Like, I came in here, I think it was last week, talking about the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu battle, which was a dope fucking battle. They got it in. They handled their business. They did their shit. You know, I was thoroughly impressed by how they got down. That shit was fly as fuck. But, damn, see, here I go. But, yeah, like, the way that Jill and Erykah got down, they played all their big hits. They played all their songs that was everybody's favorite. They got cracking. Like, they lived up to the hype. Everybody had high expectations, and they met and surpassed the expectations. The Ludacris versus Nelly battle, it wasn't as anticipated, which is crazy because both them niggas had gigantic hits in their era. Like, both them niggas had #1 singles, you know, #1 albums and all that shit. But that nigga, like, it's always one motherfucker in the battle that can't figure out the technology of Instagram. Like, motherfucking Nelly just was dropping the ball, whether it been the technical difficulties. And for some reason, this nigga wasn't playing the hits. He was playing the songs he liked. Like, I really don't get his strategy in this motherfucking battle. Like, did he think like, oh, this wasn't a hit, but I'm gonna make it a hit? Like, he fucked up. He blew it. Nelly fucked up. So yeah, Ludacris whooped his ass. I thought it was gonna be a much closer battle too. I was expecting that shit to be like 50-50 buzzer beater. One nigga won by one song. Nah, hell no. That shit was a wash. That shit was a slaughter. That nigga got he got what you call it? He got swept basically. It was a terrible thing. But anyway, shout out to everybody who's been sharing my show and you know, giving me positive feedback and things of that nature. Shout out to my homegirl Chantel. Shout out to the pimp partner E Skrilla, the Wizard of Ism. For sure. You know, P's up. Shout out to my cousin Lil Mike, just because my nigga threw me these fucking headphones and shit. Cause again, when I got this equipment, I ain't even had the right headphones set up for this motherfucker. Like, a nigga is really trying to throw some shit together today. Like, so shout out to him. Shout out to my little homie Nine Side Dre. I did a skit on his newest song. Look out for that shit. But shout out to my wife for being amazing. Just because, since I'm just doing shout outs. Shout out to the 2020 graduates. Just thinking about the quarantine and how basically this shit has become the new normal. I couldn't even imagine being a graduate and having to basically graduate from home. Especially a year like 2020. Like, I remember when I was in high school, like, I graduated class of 01, and a lot of us was low-key jealous, like, damn, that shit would have been dope as fuck to be class of 2000. That shit just sound dope, like, class of 2000. And now they got class of 2020. Like, that's a fly just number to put on class of some shit. And they had to do that shit from the crib. Or they had to do that shit from basically quarantine from some bullshit ass circumstance. Like, you know, heart goes out to the motherfuckers, man. Like, shout out to y'all, but man, if your kid graduating at this time, man, do something special for their ass, cause this was fucked up. They deserve a do-over. Like once summer start, like y'all need to like get them motherfuckers free Disneyland tickets or some type of shit. Like that's some bullshit. I seen they did the little commencement speech where Obama was shading Trump. That shit was funny, but whatever. I think LeBron did one and a couple people. So, shout out to everybody who's doing everything to make, this graduation for class of 2020 a lot better. Shout out to y'all. And I guess this episode could probably help them, huh? But yeah, man, like just shout out to all them motherfuckers. But again, back to the episode, the content. Rome wasn't built in a day, dog. Like anytime you want to do something great in life, anytime you want to do something that's gonna change your life or help you out in any way, like you always gotta do shit in moderation. Like, certain people can go cold turkey on things and they can just flip that switch and go from 0 to 100, and that's cool. But that's not everybody. The average motherfucker has to do shit in moderation. Or let me not say has to, but my tip for the average person, because me, I consider myself to be a regular motherfucker. Like, I'm not no Superman. I consider myself to be very disciplined, but at the same time, like, I have to do shit a certain way. Like, I can't just, I'm just gonna go vegan. Tomorrow, no more meat, no more cheese, no more dairy. I'm just gonna stop eating that shit. Like, hell no. Because temptation comes. Nigga, once I get in the mode of, all right, I'm gonna stop doing something. Like, my mind tells me, yeah, don't do that shit. But the thing is, cravings are a motherfucker. It's a lot of shit that you think you don't want to do. Like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I ain't gonna do that shit. Nigga, then, that hankering come. That habit come. Because a lot of times we've got habits over our lifetime. Like, whether that be eating fucked up food, just doing some bullshit, just bad habits, hanging with the wrong people, being in the wrong situations, like just when it comes to like eating bad. Like, you drive past your favorite restaurant. Your favorite restaurant is a soul food restaurant or a fast food restaurant or some shit that just ain't healthy. A lot of habits that we have, motherfuckers we chill with. You always going in a place where you cross paths with the certain motherfucker that you shouldn't be around, or doing the certain shit you just shouldn't do. And it takes discipline for you to stop doing something. And a lot of times you got to stop doing that shit in moderation. You just got to stop doing that shit slowly. Like, all right, look, I'm going to stop eating at this place this many times. I used to go there 5 days a week. I'm going to start going 4 days a week. All right, look, I got it down to 4. Now I'm going to do 3 days a week. And now I'm going to do it this amount of time. And you just keep cutting it slowly and slowly. Just like how I said about just shit in general when it comes to negative things. Like, okay, look, when you would watch TV back in the day, they could only say certain words. Like, they couldn't say shit, fuck, ass, titties, all that. But like, it's like the more you would see time progress, the more cuss words you would see on TV. And that goes with a lot of shit. Just like how you started out in high school, you was 130. Now you grown and you 257 and shit. It was like when you was in high school, you was active, you was running around with your friends, you was doing shit, you was going out. You had a lot of shit going on. But like when you get older, your habits change. Like, all right, now I'm not going out with my friends, but the one habit you kept was you kept on fucking eating. You kept eating bad. So one habit you picked up and the other habits you dropped. You dropped the positive habits. But the thing is, when it comes to you trying to get back to that, you got to pick up better habits. Like, instead of being like, all right, nigga, I'm going to go ahead and go to McDonald's on the way to work. Then when I get off work, I'm going to stop at fucking, I don't know, Popeye's chicken or whatever the fuck like that. Like, you got to be like, all right, look. Now when I get off work, instead of going to Popeye's, I'm going to go to some place that got salads. Wendy's got a cool salad. Like, I'm going to stop at Wendy's and get a fucking salad instead. You know, like instead of doing this, like you just got to change your habits gradually. You can't try to do it cold turkey because a lot of times that shit don't work. When you say, I'm just going to stop eating McDonald's altogether. Nigga, for some reason, them motherfucking McDonald's hamburgers gonna start looking so good, it ain't even gonna make no motherfucking sense. Like, god damn. You know, and you can't allow that shit to happen. Like, you know, you just gotta do that shit slow. When you do shit slow, eventually you won't even fucking miss it. Like, alright, for sure. That I did want that shit, but now I'm not tripping off that shit. I'm cool. Like, fuck it, whatever. You know, and you gotta move like that. Like, you gotta allow shit to not really affect you. If you let something like that get to you, it's gonna fuck you up every time. Like, when you try to say, all right, look, I'm going all the way cold turkey. Nigga, sometimes, and like I think a doctor said this shit about like certain medicines. Like, nigga, your body will go into shock if you try to go cold turkey on certain shit. Like, certain shit will fuck you up bad if you decide, oh, I'm just not gonna do this shit. Period. No more meat. Period. Like, nigga, that shit will bust your ass. So you gotta do that shit slowly. Like, you know, a lot of times you gotta identify the big problem. And then you gotta identify the small problems, just like with your weight. Like, the big problem is I'm at a weight that I don't like. I'm not feeling this size that I'm at right now. Okay. You identified that problem. Now you got to identify the small problems. The small problems a lot of times are what created the big problem. So the big problem is your weight, for sure. Small problems are my eating habits. So we're going to attack the small problems first. You know, I know this is the place that I love to eat, and this is the worst one. So this the one I'm going to cut in moderation. You, all right, for sure. You stop eating fucking Big Macs after work every day. You know, like, all right, for sure, I'm just going to get one a week. And then you're going to cut that to the point where you don't even miss them motherfuckers. All right, for sure. Now, I got Big Macs out the way. All right, now, when I get home, I eat a full fucking 4-course big-ass meal. All right, now I got to cut these big-ass meals out. That shit is fucking me up. You know, now I got to cut my portions a little bit. I got to slow down on that shit a little bit. Like, you know, and then you just do it gradually. Until you look up and it's like, damn, nigga, I don't even miss fucked up food no more. Like, I'm not even really tripping off that shit. And that goes with a gang of shit like bad spending habits. Like me, you know, everybody who know me personally, a lot of motherfuckers who follow me on social media know, like, nigga, I got a lot of fucking shoes. You know, and it's a bad spending habit of mine. But in order for me to get over this shit, like, I have to do it in moderation. Like, all right, look. I was buying fucking like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes a week, nigga. Now I'm gonna cut it down to like 1 a week. All right, now I'm gonna cut it down to I only buy shoes that I really love. Like, I gotta really be like, oh, I need these. Because it was a point where I would literally just buy shoes because they came out. Like, oh, the new LeBron's out, I'm getting them. I ain't even have to see the motherfuckers. I'm just buying them. Like, ooh. Like, I will literally buy shoes that I don't even like them. Just got them. For no fucking reason. And a lot of our habits are like that. A lot of our habits don't even serve us in no positive way at all. Like, it's not helping us. It's not cool. Like, we not even really tripping off the shit that we buying. We just buying that shit just because we have a habit of being a fucking perpetual consumer of things. And that shit ain't fly. Like, nigga, you gotta cut bullshit habits out. You know, and again, you can't cut a habit all the time, just have it gone. Like, no, nigga, you just gotta slowly wean yourself off. Just like, you know, how your mom weaned you off the titty as a baby. Like, all right, let me go ahead and, you know, not today. Not right now. Not this time. Till eventually you was, you know, drinking out of a fucking bottle. Weaned you off the bottle, got you on cups. You know, and as an adult, we could adapt that same set of principles to making any change in our life. Like, you know, you start out doing shit one way, and then you make subtle changes until it becomes a lifestyle, you know. But you gotta identify the problems in order to solve them motherfuckers. Because if you don't see that you have a problem, like, you can't even solve that bitch. You know, so when it comes to like your weight, you really gotta look at what the fuck you doing wrong. Just like with your money, with a budget. You know, like my wife, she big on that shit. She a big Dave Ramsey fan. Like, nigga, she be on that Dave Ramsey shit like a motherfucker. That's like, he like a third member of my motherfucking relationship. Like, every time it's time to spend some money or do some shit, oh, Dave Ramsey said, whoop-de-whoop, we gotta do this shit like this. Like, we was talking last night about a motherfucking budget, accelerated banking, some shit like that. Like, you know, but it's all, you know, shit that you gotta do to make moves. Like, you know, when it comes to our problems, it's we sit down, we write the motherfucker down. This is the money coming in. This is the money going out. This is what we gotta cut. But we always cut that shit slowly, you know, because you can't just be like, all right, no more shoes. I ain't buying shoes no more. Because, nigga, once I make that decision, eventually I'm going to see a pair that I like. And it's going to fucking burn a hole in my pocket. That shit is going to burn my motherfucking spirit up. Because, you know, like I said, a lot of times it's shit that you want to do that when you try to cut it all the way, nigga, that motherfucking monkey be on your back. It's just like with rehab coming off drugs. You know, motherfucker don't just go to rehab and then come back like, all right, I don't smoke crack no more. Like, nigga, when you go through rehab, nigga, like, they gotta put you in the methadone clinic and give you other drugs to settle your body down because your body going to shock when you get off drugs. Like, and that's any motherfucking thing. Like, nigga, any bad habits you got, anything in your shit, even laziness. Like, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to pick up positive habits, you know, because it ain't all about losing bad habits. Sometimes it's gaining good habits. Like, you have to gain your good habits slowly. Like, say, you know, reading books and shit. Like, you might want to fucking start reading. Me, I'm not a reader. I never really was a big fan of, like, sitting there and turning pages and reading slowly. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna say I got ADHD, but, nigga, that's my behavior pattern. Like, nigga, I like shit to be quick. I like to see shit. I like to do shit. I get distracted easy. I'll be all over the fucking place. Just like when you hear me talk on this fucking show, and sometimes I'll just start rambling off on some shit. That's the reason I keep notes. Because if I didn't have my notes here, nigga, I would start off talking about making subtle changes, nigga, and then I'll be talking about fucking September 11th and boxing and basketball and who's fucking better out of Jay-Z and Tupac and all types of retarded shit. But, you know, it's little shit that I would change about myself that would help me in a positive way. Like, nigga, starting to write these notes. In school, I sucked at homework because I hated writing shit down. Like, that shit was literally torture to me. Like, I fucking hated. I didn't even hate school. I literally just hated homework. I was a good student. I paid attention in class. I got along with my teachers. I got along with other students and all that shit. But when it came time for me to, like, sit at home and write some shit down on paper, I didn't do that shit. But, like, now when it comes to this show, I literally have to give myself homework. Like, what the fuck are you going to talk about today? What are your notes going to be like? And even with the notes that I wrote, nigga, I like the way my style of writing notes for my show has changed. And it's always subtle. Because even with shit like this, like, if I was to change my notes between, like, say, okay, I write my notes this way. I write the whole show word for word, right? And then I just make a dramatic change. All right, now I'm just going to put the headline and freestyle from then on. Like, nigga, that'll fuck my whole show up. And trust me, it's happened. I'm not going to tell y'all which show it was, but I done had a show or two where I changed the way I did my notes, and nigga, I was swimming. I was treading water in this bitch. Like, I literally was just making the shit up as I went. Sometimes it goes smoothly, but other times, nigga, like, I don't be knowing I ain't gonna say I don't know what the fuck I be talking about, but I don't be knowing what direction I'm going in when I'm saying what I'm saying. I got a lot of games, so, nigga, even when I'm freestyling, I still might be dropping jewels, but at the same time, it's a lot of times, nigga, that I done came in here and after I got done recording, I was like, that show was bullshit. Because I didn't get it off the way that I wanted to get it off. So now when it's time for me to make a change to how I put my notes, I always look at my last notes and then be like, okay, this is where I could improve. You know, because when it comes to you making changes in anything, when it comes to you creating habits in anything, you got to be able to look at where you're at, track your progress, and then track where you want to go from the progress that you've made. Like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I could change, this right here. And then you mark that down and remind yourself of where the change was made. Because sometimes you might make a change for the worse. You might have had the best intentions when you try to make that change. Like, all right, I'm going to adjust it and go this way. I'm going to turn this up or I'm going to turn this down. And then you realize you got worse when you made that change. So the thing with tracking your progress is you go back and say, all right, let me go back and do that the exact same way I did it last time because I fucked it up when I changed it. And then you go back. But with anything, you know, creating good habits, you always got to track your progress. You know, like always make sure to see what you're doing when you're doing it and see what you're doing when you're changing it. So you know, like, all right, I fucked that up. Let me go back and do that shit the right way this time. You know, because ain't nothing wrong with that shit. You know, and when it comes to, you know, the changes and creating your good habits, every now and then, and I ain't even gonna say every now and then, because sometimes it happens quite often with people, you fuck up. You know, like a lot of times you fall off the horse, you relapse. Like you on your diet, and then Thanksgiving came right in the middle of your fucking diet. So now your ass then went and binged on turkey and motherfucking dressing, barbecue, whatever the fuck else niggas be eating on Thanksgiving. Like you done had a bad day, nigga. You lost 15 pounds over the last month. You gained 5 pounds in one day. You can't let that shit stop the whole fucking diet. You know, a lot of times something happens and will allow one mistake to kill all the progress that we made. Like we was like, okay, cool, I'm doing great right now. Like I'm right where the fuck I need to be. This is cool. And then something happened and you like, fuck it, diet over. Damn, I done blew it. This shit is, man, fuck it. I done fucked my whole diet up. And you quit the whole diet because you had one bad day of eating. You can't do that shit. You know, one mistake can't fuck everything up. You know, like one monkey don't stop no show, nigga. You just get back to, all right, fuck it. Now I really got to get on my shit because I'm not where I want to be. But in order for me to get where I need to be, now I got to go a little harder. You know, like, nigga, I got to remain focused on this shit. Because anything that's a habit is something that you do all the time. Something that you do every day. And a lot of times something that you picked up over time. You know, so in order to create good habits, even when you accidentally break a habit every now and then, you just got to get back to that good habit. You know, like, it's always easy to change shit a little at a time. So just remember that shit. Like, you fucked up, you tripped over your fucking feet, but you still got to keep on stepping. It's just like when you running a race. You know, you sprinting and you, oh shit, I lost a step and a nigga get ahead of you. Nigga, you just got to run harder. But, you know, you don't never just stop running because you tripped over your fucking feet. Like, you know, and the thing is about tripping over your feet in a race. It's nothing wrong with coming in second. But if you stop, you definitely gonna come in last. So you might as well just keep on fucking pushing. Just like with diets, just like with, you know, your budgeting and, you know, fixing your money and any of that shit. Because, you know, I have slip-ups like that. Like, nigga, I'm saving up to get my own better equipment so I could do this show and it could sound fly as fuck even from the house. So I ain't gotta hold this microphone in my hand. Cause ain't no telling how this shit gonna sound. I'm moving around and looking around and all this shit. I don't know how this motherfucker gonna sound. But, you know, nigga can't be afraid to try some shit. I might fuck this show up. I might just have to record this whole motherfucker again. But it is what it is. Like, you know, it's a change. It's a subtle change. You know, I was doing this motherfucker at first. The first episode I did from the Boom Boom Room, I recorded it literally with just my phone and Facebook Live. It sounded fucked up. So then I got some earbuds. I put them motherfuckers in my ear and I talked through the earbuds. the fucking microphone of my earbuds was rubbing my beard, so it was like it was a fucked up sound. So like every time that I recorded this motherfucker, I would try something different. Like I held the fucking microphone in my hand literally the whole show, like above my beard so you couldn't hear it. But I realized when you would turn the motherfucker up, it would be a hum in the microphone. But the thing is, like, you know, just little changes. I'm not trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. I'm just changing shit a little at a time. So again, I track my progress. I know last time I did this shit from the crib, I had my earbuds and it sounded all right. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But at the same time, nigga, if this shit sound terrible or if this shit don't record right and this shit is fucked up, I'm gonna have to scrap this whole shit and redo this motherfucker again. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, a nigga gotta do what I could do, how I could do the shit. But it's all in me trying to improve the quality of this show. Like, right now, we in the quarantine and I can't be in the studio like I want to with being ready because he got this shit all set up. But even the way that being ready got his studio set up, like, it wasn't like one day he just popped up and everything in his studio was fucking amazing and great. Like, the nigga had to start, okay, I got this microphone, I got this mixer, this is what I got. Okay, sounds cool. Nigga, it be like every time I go into the studio with Ben Ready, it's a new fucking setup. It's a different fucking microphone, a different mixer, a different computer. Like, but again, it's good habits. It's subtly going as hard as you can, but, you know, within moderation in order for you to reach perfection. Because I feel like perfection don't exist, but you can still try to get as close as you can to something that is perfect to you. Like, you know, you could get it to where, like, okay, this is what I want. But it's not always something that you're going to be able to do in one day. It's just like when you're trying to buy a car or buy a house or make a large purchase or do anything like that. Like, it's always something that you got to pick at. Like, nigga, when you trying to buy a house, like me and my wife, you know, bought this house. Nigga, I didn't have the 25, 30,000 that it took to put down on this motherfucker. It wasn't in a day. And even with that, nigga, we had to change our spending habits. We had to cut out some shit. Like, all right, we can't do the regular Friday night dates no more because, you know, that money is going toward the crib. We can't do this no more because that's going toward this. You know, and when it comes to you making subtle changes, a lot of times, you know, I would suggest you keeping what your goal is in front of you. Whether that be a vision board, you know, keeping your target weight on your phone or your target amount of money or your target job you want to get or anything that you working towards, keep that to where you can see it. So even when you feel yourself slipping, you know, you like, all right, look, nigga, I want to be 125 by summertime. I want to be able to fit into a fucking bikini. Like, every time you get ready to go to a restaurant, nigga, pull out the picture of you in high school when you was 125. Like, do I really want this hamburger or do I want to be 125? You know, or like with me and my wife, when I wanted to buy the house, like, do I really want these fucking shoes or do I want this house? Do I want this jacket or do I want this house? Do I want to buy this fucking Harley or do I want this house? Like, it's a gang of shit that you want to do. And it's like, nigga, like I be saying about the fucking devil. Like, it's a lot of shit that's gonna conveniently step into your fucking way when you trying to do something positive. Like, nigga, you've been trying to do a diet for years. Now you finally decided, all right, nigga, I'm finna do this diet. Fuck this shit. I'm finna do this. Now all of a sudden, everybody barbecuing. Everybody throwing a fucking party. Everybody cooking. Everybody put some gumbo together for you. Girl, oh man, I just made gumbo. I ain't made gumbo in 5 years. And it's your favorite motherfucker to make the gumbo too. Like, it's always something that's gonna come to try to fuck your progress up. A lot of times it's subconscious, you know, because I'll be telling motherfuckers, like, say when you buy a car, for some reason you done bought the new, I don't know, 2020 fucking Prius or some shit. Now all of a sudden you see 5,000 Priuses up and down the street. A lot of times it's not that everybody just got the Prius. It's just that now you're just noticing them motherfuckers. Just like when you trying to do something positive, when you trying to make a change, you always come against some shit that's trying to fuck that change up for you. You know, whether you noticed it or not, that shit been there. But now it's just, it's more visible because you paying attention. Like now that fucking restaurant sign is glowing a lot brighter because you on a diet. Because nigga, you would drive past Dairy Queen 1,000 times. But now that sign bright red. Nigga, now the hamburgers and the fucking Frosties in the window looking extra motherfucking good for some reason. Like, I didn't even notice that shit. Why the fuck that shit looking so bomb now? Ain't that a bitch? And it is what it is, my nigga. Like, you know, you gotta keep focused on your goal, nigga. Anything that you trying to do, like me, nigga, I would keep pictures of the houses that I liked in my phone. So whenever I would get ready to do some online shopping on Amazon, I'm cool. I don't need it. Like I just got done telling my wife, like it's some shoes that I want bad as fuck. But I want this fucking Rodecaster. I want this microphone. I want a new laptop. Because when I come in this motherfucker, like I don't want it to be no type of hiccups, nigga. I want everything pertaining to this show to sound excellent. Like I don't even want you niggas to know the difference between me being in Townhouse Media Studio and me being at home. Like right now, you can tell. If you go back to episode like 1 through fucking 40, they all sound great. The audio quality is fucking amazing. That nigga being ready be doing this shit, making this shit sound good. But when I be at the crib, you can tell, nigga, it's Bush League as fuck. But I gotta make subtle changes in order to get to the goal that I'm trying to reach. So every time I see something that's gonna, you know, try to tempt me to spend some money, I just think, do I want this or do I want the Rodecaster? You know, a lot of times your subtle changes all have to be made with your progress in mind. Like, do I want this fucking hamburger or do I want to be able to fit into that? Or do I want to have a 6-pack so I can get these bitches at the beach? You know, do I want to go to this motherfucking gumbo, whatever, this fucking cookout, this barbecue, this whatever the fuck, or do I want this? You know, and you got to ask yourself that shit a lot of times on a daily basis, and this is how you create good habits. You know, like smoking fucking weed or, you know, doing any type of drug. Like, do I want this job or do I want to be high right now? You know, and this is everything. This is life in general, my nigga. Everything is about choices. You know, all good habits come from choices. Like, a lot of people be asking me, like, damn, nigga, you don't drink? I drink. But the thing is, I work 6 days a week. So, my job, I'm a truck driver. I can't drink and drive. You know, we blow a .01 and we up out this bitch. So, I literally can't have a beer after work. Because by the time it's time for me to go back to work, if I got any alcohol in my system, that shit could literally cost me my fucking career. I can't risk that. So when it comes to me making changes in my life, it's always do I want to drink right now or do I want to have a fucking job? Like, and that's how I make changes in my habits. Like when I was a Christian, I didn't use profanity. A lot of people trip the fuck out because they know me. Like if y'all niggas listen to this show, y'all hear how I be talking? I cuss every other fucking word. I literally cuss unnecessarily. Sometimes I listen to the show like, God damn, nigga, did you really have to fucking cuss that much? You was tripping. But it is what it is. This is how I've been talking since fucking like junior high school. But anyway, in order for me to change the habit of using profanity all fucking day, every other word, I will always tell myself, God can hear me. God can hear me. So whenever I would be talking, whenever I would get ready to say a cuss word, God can hear me. You know, because like I will always talk to, you know, clown my Christian homeboys because they wouldn't, like, they would sin. You know, and it's not a judgment thing, but it's just an accountability thing with me. Like, I would always be like, man, you know, God can hear you. And they'd be like, what? Like, hey, you just said fuck, or you just said shit, or you just said, you know, something of that nature. Something that, you know, basically something you wouldn't say in church. And I'll be like, God can hear you. Because the thing is, a lot of times, like with me, back in my days of Christianity, like I would always tell people, the reason that I was able to walk so straightforward when it came to Christianity is because, like I would tell people, I would just act like I'm in church all day. Because a lot of people in church act one way. Like in church, they holy, they standing up straight, and they, God bless you, hallelujah, praise the Lord, bless you, bless his holy name, and all that shit. Then they get out of church and they like, man, God damn, pastor was preaching like a motherfucker, wasn't he? Man, nigga, I'm finna go smoke a blunt and meditate on this good word I got. And I'm like, would you do that shit if you was still in church though? Like, you've been talking to niggas and they talking a certain way, like, yeah, man, fuck that shit. Hey, man, the pastor coming. Hey, God bless you, pastor. How you doing? How's everything? You change your whole shit when it comes to your pastor being around. But it's like, I would always tell niggas, do you really view your pastor over God? Like, you'll change your whole shit for the pastor, but you won't change your whole shit even though God could see you and hear you all the time. Like, who's bigger in your life? So me, when I was a Christian, it would always be, I would make all my choices thinking God could see me. And this is when it comes to your habits. Your goal is in front of you. So is what I'm doing getting me closer to my goal or farther from my goal? When I was in church, my goal was heaven. So everything I did was, are these words getting me close to heaven? Is this action getting me close to heaven? Is this decision getting me close to heaven? Is the thing that I'm doing today getting me close to heaven? Because like me, nigga, I tithed, I gave offerings, like all that shit. Nigga, I went to church 4 days a week. I went to church Sunday, Monday night Bible study, Wednesday night Bible study, Friday night Bible study, and I gave offering all the time. I felt like I was the brokest nigga in the world when I was going to church. Because I was always giving as much offering as I could afford, because I felt like this is how I'm going to get to heaven. This is how I'm going to get blessed. This is how I'm going to get to what I want, which is to be a good Christian and get to heaven, and, you know, God going to be pleased with me if I do it like this. But that's how I view goals. This is how I view getting anything that you want out of life. This is how I view making subtle changes. When you making subtle changes, it's all in your decisions that you make about those changes that you make. Whether it be how you eat, who you kick it with, what you do, how you spend your money, all that shit. Like, nigga, is what I'm doing serving me? Is what I'm doing getting me closer to my goal? Like, is this hamburger gonna get me closer to my target weight or farther? So when you making these subtle changes, you know, diet, cutting out meat, you know, cutting out fucked up spending. You know, my wife didn't want me to say this shit, but going to fucking Starbucks every day. Like, you know, any fucking bad habit that you got. You know, a lot of niggas don't go to Starbucks every day. That's what my wife said. Oh, you shouldn't even use that example. Some people don't go. Yeah, some people don't, but some people do. And that's the problem. For the motherfuckers that go to Starbucks every day, man, cut that shit out. And not even cut it out. Like, you know, do your thing. Enjoy your life. But at the same time, if you got some money that you want to set aside for something and you realizing that you got a hole in your boat, you got to cover the hole in your boat. You got to stop doing whatever the fuck it is that's getting you away from your goal. You know, and something that I wrote down here, but I wasn't going to say it because I'm fucking literally freestyling, because I'm trying to look at this fucking computer screen and make sure the mixer plugged in and holding this microphone. Celebrate your small victories. Like, when you do make a good decision, pat yourself on the back every now and then. You know, like, a lot of times, like, say, because like I said, I cut meat out. Whenever I would eat a salad, I would be like, good shit, Dola. You could have got that motherfucking Baconator hamburger, but you eating a motherfucking salad. Good job, nigga. Like, every time, like, I remember, it was like 2008, some shit like that, nigga, I was at work. And this is, you know, back in my Christian days. I was tightening my load with this tension bar. Like, I used to haul flatbeds. So I'm pulling that motherfucker with the tension bar, and the tension bar slip, hit me on my forehead. Bow, hard as fuck. Nigga, I had a fucking lump on my head, my nigga, the size of a White Castle hamburger. Like, nigga, I had what they call a hematoma. Like, my shit was lumped up, fucked up. Hit the ground. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, that hurt. Oh, my head. God, heal me. So I hop up, and all I'm thinking is, I didn't cuss. That was crazy. Because, in my secular days, like right fucking now, I cuss all the fucking time. But at the time that shit happened, that was the one thing that let me know, like, I've created a good habit. Because in any other circumstance, I'd have created a new cuss word that day. Because that shit hurt like a motherfucker. Like, God, like, thinking about that shit, I could feel it. Like, my fucking head is starting to, like, throb a little bit because of how bad that shit hurted, my nigga. But when it happened, I didn't cuss. And it was because I had created this habit over the time of me being a Christian. Like, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna use profanity. Like, this language is not getting me any closer to the kingdom of heaven. So when you think about any subtle change that you make in life, it should always be with your goal in mind. Whatever decisions that you making, whatever you doing in your subtle changes that you make in life should always be made with your goal in mind. That's always going to make it easier for you to make those changes. And you should always, whether it be you or another person, remain accountable for the habits that you're trying to create or the changes that you're trying to make. Like whether you got, say, an accountability partner, like, when they come to rehab, they got the accountability partners, the motherfucker to tell you falling off the wagon, or you doing right, or you doing wrong, or, do it this way, or do this more, or do this less. Like, you should always, self-critique and have somebody else who you trust that can critique your progress. Like, you fucking up, my nigga. Didn't you say you was vegan? What the fuck? Why you got a hamburger, dog? You said you on the keto diet. Why you eating that? You know that's not keto shit. Like you gotta have a person to let you know when you in the right and when you in the wrong. This a lot of times will help you in your journey of changing some shit. Like when I was a Christian, like, and this is something that I tell people in general, or really my homeboys. When you get married, nigga, your wife is gonna be the ultimate accountability in the person that you are. Like I would tell my homies, nigga, whoever you was when you met your woman, that's who you gotta be when you marry her, and from every day ahead of that. If you was a gangster when you met her, nigga, you better be a gangster forever. If you was Prince Charming when you met her, you better be fucking Prince Charming forever. Because your wife is always going to provide the biggest level of accountability in your life. You wake up with her, you go to sleep with her. She see you more than anybody. She see you naked. Your wife probably don't know you better than anybody if you a real motherfucker. So, you always got to have a person in your life that can hold you accountable for anything that you're doing. If you on a diet, you need to have somebody to hold you accountable. You need to have a scale in your house so you can keep yourself accountable. Like I said about tracking your progress. Every day you should step on that scale. All right, I gained 2 pounds, or I lost 2 pounds, or I'm at the same weight that I was. And you got to look at what you got to change in order to make that shit get closer to your goal. Like, all right, look, I gained a couple pounds. What the fuck did I eat today? Or what have I been eating over the course of this week that got me at a weight that I'm not happy with? And you gotta readjust that shit. Like I said, you gotta track your fucking progress. You gotta track your moves. Like, what was that? Hansel and Gretel with the motherfucking breadcrumbs? You gotta leave breadcrumbs on shit sometimes. Like, all right, look, this is what I've been doing all week. These are the meals that I've been eating every day. I ate at Wendy's in the morning. I ate a salad for lunch. Then I had short ribs for dinner. All right, next day I had bacon and eggs for breakfast. I skipped lunch. And then for dinner I had a fucking weight loss shake. Like, you got to track your progress to see, all right, this is where I fucked up at. This got to go. I can't do this no more. You know, like that's why I'm glad nowadays, you know, I got my bank statements on my phone. So I could literally pop it open and be like, damn, how the fuck do I only got fucking $1,200 in the bank right now? Like, what the fuck did I do? And it's like, oh yeah. Bought them new fucking shoes. I fucked up. That's where I fucked up at. Hold yourself accountable. And like I said, when you fuck up, don't let fucking up say, well, bought some shoes, budget fucked up, budget busted. Might as well go shopping now. Like, no, nigga, like, all right, for sure. I fucked that up. Let me get back on track. You know, just because you tripped don't mean you lost the race. Nigga, you just got to run a little harder. Like, all right, nigga, next time I can't buy no shoes next week because I fucked that up this week. And that goes with any change that you make in life. You fuck up, you know, everybody makes mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. Like I said in the beginning, Rome wasn't built in a day, my nigga. Like, but you got to make these changes and you got to stick to them motherfuckers. You got to remain accountable. You got to keep them motherfuckers tracked, you know. And when it comes to reaching your goal, nigga, when you reach your goal, you got to keep those same habits. You know, that's where a lot of people fuck up. Like, they lose weight and then they gain it back. They gain the weight back because once they reach their target weight, now they feel like, oh, fuck it, now I can go back to eating bullshit again. Nigga, that's how you got fat in the first fucking place. You know, a lot of times, nigga, these changes that you make in order to reach a goal, in order for you to stay where you at, you gotta remain focused on those same goals. It's just like when you a Christian, nigga, when I decided to stop cussing, it wasn't like I hit my head, didn't cuss and say, yeah, good. Now I'm a good Christian. That's good shit. No, nigga, like, you gotta remain in those good habits. It's just like when it comes to success. You know, you have to remain successful. You gotta keep doing the same shit that got you where you're at forever now. Like, you gotta keep a good budget. You gotta keep good habits. You gotta keep good relationships. You gotta keep networking. Like, nigga, success ain't something that you get to and then you just stop doing what you did. Cause just like with niggas who work out, if you know niggas who work out and get buff, they keep fucking working out. Like, I will hear people say stupid shit like, why that nigga at the gym? He already buff. Because, my nigga, if he don't hit the gym, he's gonna get fat. Like, you don't just get buff and now that I reach this fucking buffness, now I could just stop lifting weights. That's not how anything works. Literally nothing, my nigga. Like, just like with fucking winning championships. Like, if you win one championship, that's cool. But motherfuckers don't consider you nothing special until you win another one and another one and another one. Like, that's when you are a champion. That's when you are a success. It's just like getting one fat paycheck at work or some shit. Like, how does that sound, my nigga? Like, you not a success if you only got one, you know, $2,000 paycheck at work. Like, you not balling until you getting consistent $2,000 paychecks. And the only way for you to consistently be successful is for you to have successful habits. In order for you to do anything that you consider to be successful, you have to keep whatever habits that you got to reach your goal. You have to keep those habits to maintain your goal. If your goal was to get down, you know, from 275 pounds to 180, nigga, when you hit 180, nigga, you gotta still eat like you was eating when you was coming down to 180, or you gonna get back up to the weight that you didn't want to be at. You know, and vice versa. Like, when it comes to saving money, like when me and my wife bought the house, we was saving up all type of money to buy this fucking house. But after we bought the house, we realized, like, damn, now we got a mortgage that's higher than the rent. You know, we got all type of shit in the house that we have to maintain. So we got to maintain those good spending habits that we picked up when we was saving to buy the house in order for us to maintain the house. Like, we can't just go back to the fucked up spending habits that we had before we bought the house. And we didn't even have fucked up spending habits on some real shit. We just had, you know, we had some things that we was doing. We was spending some money we didn't need to spend. You know, so now we just picking up the habit of only spending money that needs to be spent, only doing shit that needs to be done. Like, we can't just be fucking up for the sake of fucking up. Like, we got to be like, all right, look, This is how we spending our money. We got to make sure to spend our money right instead of spending our money wrong. Because that's how people fuck up. They reach their goal, and then they feel like since they crossed the finish line, they can stop running. And like I always quote, one of my favorite motherfucking historical figures, the god Nipsey Hussle. It's a marathon, nigga. The marathon continues. Nigga, your goal was to be a millionaire. Now you got $1 million. You know what's fucked up about $1 million? Once you spend $1, you ain't got $1 million no more. Once you spend a penny, you ain't got $1 million no more. That's why you gotta maintain those same habits that you had when you got that $1 million. So you could get another $1 million and another $1 million and another $1 million. And even though you got the millions, nigga, you gonna be spending money. So you have to be able to maintain what you did to get that first $1 million. So you could keep $1 million. Like, and that's how it works with anything when it comes to progress, when it comes to good habits. Any good habit that you've done the work to pick up, you got to do the work to maintain, and it is what it is. Like, nigga, good habits are what all motherfucking successful people have. Anybody who's reached any level of success has reached that success through good habits. So you should always work to gain and maintain good habits in anything you do. Any change you want to make, shit, anything that you just want to do, period. Because it ain't even got to be a change. It could just be, I just want to be a better fucking father. I want to be a better motherfucking employee. I want to be a better businessman. Like, nigga, you have to do the things that make you better at shit, and you got to do that shit consistently. You start small, and then you build upon the small progress. Celebrate the small victories. Don't let the small failures get to you, because you're not always going to do shit perfect when you're trying to move forward in life. Like, what you doing, every now and then something fucked up gonna step in your way. Nigga, you gonna trip over your feet. Somebody gonna fuck you up. You gonna be on your diet and you gonna see your favorite restaurant. You gonna slide up in that motherfucker and you gonna go ahead and do your thing, and you gonna feel guilty about the shit. Like, damn, nigga, I've been doing so good. And then I saw this motherfucking colossal burger from goddamn, what you call that shit, from fucking Hawkins Burger, and I fucked that motherfucker up. Nigga, now I'm up 2 pounds. I blew it. Nigga, now you just gotta get stronger on your diet and keep the fuck pushing, my nigga. Like, in anything, you gotta keep on fucking pushing, nigga. The marathon continues, nigga. You can't let one bad step fuck your shit up. You always gotta remain consistent, nigga. Remain focused. Focus is another big part of this shit. Like when I was a Christian, I always would tell motherfuckers I'm focusing on God. Like, nigga, I walk around like God can see me. God can hear me. And fuck because if you a Christian, you believe God can see you and God can hear you, my nigga. So you shouldn't be doing nothing that you wouldn't do in church. You shouldn't say nothing that you wouldn't say in church. Like I tell niggas, nigga, if you want to look at the pastor like he's God, because that's how a lot of motherfuckers do, nigga, walk around like your pastor walking behind you. That'll stop you from doing a whole lot of shit. When you in an interaction with a woman, when you in an interaction with your friends, when you in an interaction, somebody done pissed you off and step on your fucking feet. Nigga, you gotta act like pastors right here. What would you do if your pastor was standing next to you? So whenever you making changes, whenever you doing something that is close to a goal, like when it comes to making a change, just always remember, nigga, my goals can see me. My goals can hear me. It's what I'm doing getting me closer to my goals. And you gotta move around like that, dog. Like, just keep your goals in mind. Make your changes subtle, but make them permanent. Always stay focused on what you're trying to do, and you'll be able to do it. But just keep your goals in mind. And I'm going to drop the mic on that shit. This has been your host, Young Dolomite, of the Too Much Game Podcast. Live from the Boom Boom Room. Once again, hopefully next week, I'll be back in motherfucking studio. If you would like to support us financially, it's patreon.com/townhousemedia. Support all the Townhouse Media podcasts. Seriously, None Other Podcast, Friday nights, 9 p.m. The No Rules podcast, Wednesday evenings, 5 p.m. Hump Days Will Never Be the Same. Talk Flirty Tuesdays, the Talk Flirty podcast. Cat vs. Dog podcast, Sundays, 3 p.m. And of course, the Too Much Game podcast, live at 5. Supposed to be Sundays. Today was a Monday. I'm a day late, but I ain't never $1 short. Follow me on social media at Young Dolomite, YUNGDOLEMITE _ on Instagram, no _ on Twitter. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. What else was it? 5-star and leave a review on fucking Apple Podcasts if you listen on that shit. And I think that might be it. I ain't here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too much game.